goal, but I always wanted to buy myself a fucking MacBook. So if I set my
Okay.
goal to buy a MacBook for now, right? It's a short-term goal, I think. It's not a long-term one, but do you think that's a good idea to put it that, and then from as soon as I achieve my goal, then I will go next? Or by the time I have achieved that one, I will have another one? What do you guys think? Is this a good idea, or should I think about a better goal for now?
That
That's
sounds
like
more
Morning.
like a reward.
a reward, okay? Mhm.
Or
But
do you want to buy the MacBook if you like succeed in your Python skills, or is it you want
yeah,
to buy
because
it for
people, because
motivation?
I feel like I want to work with both systems, with Windows and Mac OS,
Mm-hmm.
and to and I feel like also working on Mac OS so far, I see a lot of people working with it. There has to be a reason why they're working with it, but I also
I
do
don't work with
understand.
it.
Yeah, but there are also people who say defend Windows like white knights, that Windows
Oh
is the
my
better
God, Blazer.
one. But let's not just let's not talk about this. Yeah, but it's just like I want to buy one, but I don't have the money. So maybe I can set my goal to something like, hey, get as good as possible in coding in order to get like a job, like a mini job, because I'm still a student, so I don't have time to work as a full time developer or whatever, and that's why maybe I can save up and then e- eventually buy it, and then be happy.
Yeah, I think I get your way of thinking and why you want to do that, and I think it's a great goal. Just like a goal per se, just as a goal itself, and I think you don't need to actively connected to your Python skills or something, But for example, if you have a running system right now, which means you use your Windows and you can actually work with that, then it's totally fine because I'm a fan of don't buy something which you don't need yet, Only if you really can afford it, and then it makes sense. And then at one point, when you reach that level where you could buy this, you can still think, do you really need it or not? And I think that's how you could set the goal. Like you could set the goal of saying you want to get a MacBook, which you bought by using your programming skills, which means you will get a job where you work as a programmer and earn the money and buy the MacBook, and then you achieve your goal because that goal is more specific, like to say you limit it to
Mm.
your Python skills. Then it would make sense. And also, don't limit yourself to the fact that you say, I just have this one goal or a couple of goals which are not connected to each other. Um, I think the the issue here is that you just have to understand the scope, because you also can set a goal for your Python career per se, and then also have this goal of this MacBook. Just have two goals. It doesn't. It nothing. Nothing wrong about that one. Okay. So don't worry about that. I think that's also pretty good. And I think when I say goal, I also actually talk about a purpose. Like why why you why do you stand up, sit on the computer, and continue coding? Because for example, when I wake up, I'm always looking forward to come home. First of all, because I have a fancy keyboard and a nice microphone because I love to use it. And then the second is that I really like to. I'm already living in the future where I have all the data about the YouTube videos which I want to scrape because I'm excited to see what's going on in the videos, in the text, and data which I will scrape, and that's my goal. And then I already know what I can do with that. I just need to do that, and that's what I set myself as a goal, and that's something which you also can do. And another thing you should know is that in the beginning, it doesn't matter what goal it will be because it won't be your last goal, It's just something you start. Like, for example, if we say we built this Python Discord bot now, which tracks our activity on the server, build some kind of dashboard and a web page where you can track all of that, then it's it's great. It's a great goal. You can build it. You build your portfolio. You build up your Python skills, and then you have something which you can show people. And then you also can tell other people you work with the APIs and databases, and that's also one very nice goal. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bringing up the project is a very cool opportunity.
Yeah, man. That's why, because I know, and that's what I actually wanted to do, right? Because I know there are boot camps out there where you can participate, and even because most boot camps are structured in a way where you have to pay money and you have to participate because you put yourself the pressure that you paid for it, so you need to go there. Otherwise you would have wasted money. And here I want to do it different by seeing, or like I start to put in like 100% of my energy to help you getting started, and then I can see who really means it to stay, or who really wants to learn how to code. And if I found those persons, then I know I can. It's worth it to continue investing my time into it. Because if a person just thinks coding is cool, but they actually don't want to code, I think it's better to focus my energy on people like you guys who really want to do that, rather than somebody who just likes who thinks like, yeah, coding's cool. Maybe I will do that, because they don't put in the same energy and time like you guys. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, then guys, then let's start with the video, and welcome in again, guys, to another Python programming bootcamp, or aka class, how Johnny says it. And today we just have a catch-up call where we just synchronize and see where everybody is standing from a programming point of view, so I can actually help you even more effective. And in the previous video or class, we talked about how to debug and how to use Git for starters on the Git user interface. And next week we will then just push everything from our terminal, and then you can work from your IDE, your PyCharm, and connect it with GitHub as well. That's our goal for next week as well. And today we will just cover two topics, which is the while loop for Johnny, and the second one is how to work with modules, or what modules actually are, so you actually have an understanding what packages are and why you actually need a virtual environment. And that's what we are going to do in the next session. Okay, does it make sense, or do you have any questions, guys?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay. And Blazer, if you start talking, man, check your mic, because I don't want to get deaf again. Oh my god, he's talking.
Hello, Long. How are
Oh
you?
my god, man. He's doing it again.
Has he in your mic though?
I don't know.
Sorry, Blazer, what you saying?
Oh my god. Stop it, Blazer. Stop
Hello,
it.
Long. How are you?
I will disconnect you forever. Okay. So guys, stop it. Stop it. Okay. So guys, today we are talking about another data structure or algorithm, if you want to see it like that, and that's called the while loop. Okay, because before that we covered one of the most important structures out there, which is the for loop. But you also have cases where you use a while loop. And let me just introduce you to what the difference is. And then I actually start from a point where, if you are somebody who has never heard anything about while loops, I will show you how you, if you would be self-taught, can learn that, or what kind of resources you could check out to get an understanding of that. Because I'm here to teach you, or to pass you on my experience on how to learn, actually. Because it doesn't help you so much if I just tell you this is how a while loop works, and then go and work with that, rather than teaching you the ways, the social skills, the soft skills, how to Google, and how my thinking process looks like, how you can get to your goal actually. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, then while loop and for loop. The first thing you need to understand is that a for loop basically is used so you can interact with a list, or more detailed, with every element in a list. So that's why every time you have something which is ordered in a list or in a set or in a dictionary, just to drop some more data structures, then you need to use a for loop, because for example, you want to manipulate every element in the list, or if you have a dictionary, which we haven't covered yet, but we should cover it in the next session as well. You need to check what's inside this element, and then you can add an if condition and check if the value of the element which you just iterated through does or has the values which you are looking for, and that's what for loops are used for. And while loops, on the other side, are used to loop through lists as well, but they just loop until you or while your condition is set. That's basically it. So that's why they basically do the same, but you don't need to use both of them every time. And from my experience, for example, I think the last time I used a while loop was maybe last year or 2 years ago. I don't know, because most of the cases I can use a for loop or other techniques to iterate through my elements, And also another point you should write down is the time complexity. That also could be relevant, and I will cover it in another class. But for you guys, time complexity time complexity simply means how fast does it take, or how long does it take to get a specific value from a specific data structure. So that's basically it. So it's just a question of time, okay? Because, for example, imagine you have a word and you have a dictionary, like a real dictionary where your words are in. And Johnny, let's do an example. I will ask you to look up the word TypeScript. How long does it take you to look up TypeScript and tell me what the definition is with a real life dictionary?
Well, you're going to the letter T first, and then TI, TypeScript.
Yeah.
And then you start from the very left top, go through all the words until you finally found TypeScript.
Exactly. That's how a dictionary works, right? So you actually already know where it is. And if you are a computer, you already know where it is because it's structured, and it should be somewhere where you have all the words which start with type or TypeScript, something like this, right? So the time until you reach that point is pretty fast. And if you want to go down the time complexity, the time complexity is O1, but I will just cover it next time just so that you have heard about that. And now imagine, Johnny, I give you a huge stack of paper like this, okay? Like there are, I don't know, man, 10,000 pieces of paper. And now on each paper, there's one word written on it. And somewhere in between, I have written TypeScript. How long does it take you to get this paper where it says TypeScript?
Too long.
Exactly, because...
At the end could be at the very...
Yeah, it even could be the first, you don't know.
Yes.
And even if you start searching in the center of this stack, you don't know where it is. You also, because even if you structure it, or like not structure, even if you order it, it even can be somewhere else where you don't expect it, because a list, as you know in Python, doesn't contain one data type only, because you also can it contain every data type which exists in Python. That's why if you order it, it's still like it have all the different data types and you still don't know where it is. And that's what time complexity actually means. It just shows you how long does it take to get to process a specific calculation. Okay, does it make sense?
So far, yes.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry if you didn't get it. You just need to understand that time complexity has something to do with calculations and how fast something is returned. Okay, and now we will just cover the while loop, and for that, I will going to show you what I would do. And for that, we will just go to this page here on our Discord server, and I would go to getting started first because if I'm a beginner, I basically have no clue where I should look at, and I provided you some resources where you can look at. And the first thing which I also would go to is like the ebooks, because I really learn in a fast way when I read it and just see examples. And other people just need to go to YouTube and write for loop or something. So we will just start with this one. So I will click on here, and then also I will just check out Guru 99 and check if they have it, because I don't know if those pages have this topic already. So I will just check the boring stuff here because I want to, like I said before, teach you how to do that from the very beginning. So let's see, while. Amazing. This one still doesn't have a while loop. Maybe it is somewhere in between here. Maybe loop. Okay, manipulating and working with PDFs. No. Nice. Maybe structured data, flow control. That should be the if condition. So just so you see what I would do, I would just look into everything and see what it is. And of course, just look into the text. But as you can see, this page doesn't have a while loop, which is good to know. Because as you can see, the table of contents just goes into, like, it really or highly focuses on like automation, you know, because what is the title? Automate the boring stuff. You see that already.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
They cover while loop actually. I just found it.
So what did you say?
I just found it. They cover the.
Yeah,
while
where's
loop.
it?
You go to flow. You just said something about flow.
Flow control.
Flow control, and then you scroll down.
Okay.
It is
While loop.
2.
Oh, nice.
2-7.
Man, I should have searched here as well. Perfect. Okay. Then we get to this point. But still, if we go back to this one, you see, it's not. It doesn't have an own chapter per se because it belongs to another bigger parent topic, which is the flow control, which would be obvious. And as you can see, this is like if condition or if clauses. Yeah, we have something like this. So that's what we already covered. So let's go to the while loop part, okay? While loop. And also, while we do that, just check out the other page for now. Oh, this is another page. This was just about functions, so I think we don't need to check out this page. Then let's see what the while loop statement does, because Johnny wasn't sure what we do here. So if you have time, guys, you still can read the text for yourself, because I think they explain it in a very good way. And just reading the first sentence makes sense for me. So it says, you can make a block of code execute over and over again using a while statement. Okay, that's not so clear actually. And yeah, I think this is what I was looking for. I think you guys also understand this sentence already, right? The code in a while clause, or like the while statement, will be executed as long as a while statement's condition is true. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then in the code, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. Look at this. Okay. So here's a code with a while statement. We have some variable called spam, and then we write while, and then, as you know, we learned about the if conditions, like the if clauses, right? The if expression. And as you can see here, this is one of those expressions, while, and then it asks, is spam smaller than 5? Or little 5? How do you say it? You know what I mean. And then it says, while this is the case, it will just return this code. So you need to understand this line first. Do you guys understand what's happening here?
So the condition is as long as the variable is smaller than 5, go
Yeah.
through the loop.
So what does this return? What is this?
The Boolean true.
Nice, perfect. Because if we just write this in our code, like let's open my IDE. So if we write spam, oh wait, let me make it bigger. Every time I have to change it. 40, boom. Spam equals, equals 0. And then we, 0. Oh my God, please help me. Oh my God, I still have my shortcuts here. That's why it shows like this. So spam or smaller than 5, right? 5. So let's print it here. Print. What will happen? What will we return? Hello?
True.
Ditto.
True.
It will return true.
So let's check it out. True. Okay, perfect. Makes sense because we are just asking, is spam literally like 0? Is 0 smaller than 5? And then it says yes. So, and now, so then it says while true. And while it's true, it will just print this one, right, Johnny?
Yes.
And you understand what this is doing?
Yes. After printing hello world, it will increase the variable by 1.
Yes.
So the next time the while loop checks spam, it will be is 1 lower than 5.
Exactly.
Which is true again, and then it goes through the loop again.
Exactly. So that's basically the code which Johnny just explained. And the thing is, if you change this immediately to a number which is bigger than 5, then it will never go through any of this, okay? So that's the first thing you should understand about the while loop. Nothing more. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes.
While loops, when it will end?
It will end when this is not true anymore.
No, I mean with other codes.
With other codes?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like break or something?
like parentheses. In C codes, we were using parentheses.
Ah, okay, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Henry's asking, where does the while loop actually end? Where you know what belongs to the while loop? Because let's go to while loop C. So let's go to C and see what's happening here. So goodbye. Look at this. This is the while loop in C. As you can see, it says while, and you have the expression in a bracket. You need to write the brackets as well. And then you have those curly brackets. And that's what Henry asked. Like here we know the start of the while loop, and here's the end of the while loop. And in Python, you don't have that, Henry. In Python, everything is working with indents. You know, like with the tab. When you press tab, your code gets indented once. You know, like one tab are like 4 spaces. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand now.
Here, like when I press tab, oh no, I can't press tab right now because if I press tab, it will just take all of this code which I have here. This is my tab 9 artificial intelligence which codes for me. Oh my god, please, what is this? I need to close this. But if I would press tab, it will go into this one. This is the indent. Okay, this is the first thing, because in Python you don't have brackets and you don't have brackets for those flow control data structures like you have in C. So Johnny and Monet, you probably have seen that in JavaScript or something where you have brackets which tells you where it starts and where it begins, right?
Yes.
But we don't have that in Python, which I really like, because in Python, I just have to do it like this. So I just go here, I say while spam, look at this. This is, by the way, my AI, which codes with me. It just tells me if spam is smaller than 5, then I can just print spam, for example. And then you see here, I just have to press tab once, and then this is like, it is the same like if I go here, oops, and do like this. In C, it would be like here. So in C, it would be like this. Oh my god. It would be like this. And everything down below, which is on the same level here, like this indent here, the first indent, because that belongs to the while loop, okay, Henry?
Okay.
Because if I do it again, look at this, it gets to another level, and this level could be interesting for if conditions, like I say if spam equals 0, print no, I would just say print spam is 0, for example. And then you see I have another if condition here, which also requires an indent. So as you can see here, I press tab once, and then it moved into this one. And this block, everything which is down in this indent here, oops, oh my god, this here, down my cursor, oh my god, you can't see it. Down below the print, everything will belong to the if condition. And the same, everything here will belong to the while expression, the while block, okay? So that should be the normal case for you. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Then let's move on to the next part here of the while loop. Johnny, do you still have anything, or like what is the thing which actually confuses you about the for loop? Do you want to know when you should use a for loop, or why?
Do you remember I sent you an example in your private messages?
I don't
Do you
know.
remember?
You sent me a lot of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe you can send it again. I can check it out.
Yes, maybe that's a good question.
Let me check it out.
I remember, Johnny, our messages go to the spam folder.
Where is it? Where is it?
It was I was asking about the while, and then I had some bunch of.
Long check spam folder.
Spam.
Can I just copy the code and send it to you in Discord like that?
Yeah, you can, man.
Or do you want to use my GitHub repository?
Yeah, send me your GitHub repository, man. Just send me a link. What should I check? The spam?
Why spam?
What is spam?
And you fell for it. Emails go to spam. You fell for the joke.
Man, Blazer, what are you doing, man? Blazer,
Wednesday.
please help
Hold
me.
on, we don't have
please.
a spam folder here?
Oh my god, please. Johnny, send me, please. Save me
Yeah,
from this.
the
Send me your
repository.
repository, man. Okay, wait. Etsy, did I hear you?
Yes, it's Etsy. Hey, Etsy.
Nice. All right,
Yes.
all right. So,
You
what should I
open
click?
Quiz game.
quiz game. Does pie. Yes.
Okay, so this is the while. Basically, the while loop works now. But can you copy this code first?
Yes. Boop. And I will go to my IDE and put it here, okay? So, boom,
And then remove line 2.
line 2,
Yes, remove
Boom.
line 2.
dead. I don't have answer.
Answer. Oh, I think that's the code below. I think
What have you done?
this is basically from a quiz game.
Yeah? Okay. So, what do you want me to do? Can I leave it like that and play it?
Oh no, I haven't changed it yet. Yeah, no, play it. Now play it.
Okay, so I play it. So what this code basically means, it says while true, so it will go every time into this block of the while loop. And then it now just asks me to give an input, which you can get by writing input and then your question, which you can see here. Then I say, what are you saying? If answer is A, so I need an input, and this input gets put into my answer. So I say, if answer is A, boom.
It's correct. Yes.
Yes.
So the problem, but now type in everything but A.
Okay, let's start it again. Boom. What does CPU stand for? CPU. Incorrect. What do you want to answer the same question again?
Yes.
Oh shit, I wanted to say no. Yes. Okay. Then it goes back to the code. Continue. Boom. It goes to the top.
Oh, okay. So it works actually. Okay.
I say CPU. Man, it says incorrect again, but I'm sure CPU stands for CPU. No, it's not. So let's say yes. Again, it
No,
does the same.
no. Try
So it
saying no
loops-
when it
so it
says
loops true.
No. No. Yeah. Now I said not yes, but no. And then it still goes to the same spot. Is that maybe the issue
But
which you have?
what's- So if okay, so we said only if the condition is true, the while loop repeats itself.
Yeah.
So I asked the user if they want to play again, and if the user answer, which is play again in this case, is yes, it equals yes, which means it's true. So basically, it starts the while loop again.
I get your problem.
So,
Yeah.
so do I even have to use continue in this case?
No.
Because continue, like, was heißt denn überspringen?
Skips.
Skips. Yeah, skips things.
Wait, let me do this. You said yes. So let's remove this continue. And is the font actually too big? I don't know.
No.
Boom.
No, the font
Incorrect.
is perfect.
Do you want to answer the same question again? Yes. Look. I said yes, it goes here because I said no, and then it goes into this input. And then it says play again is not yes, but it is, oh no, it is yes actually. And then it went into this one which printed you said yes. And then it continues going into the next loop, which is here. What is your question? Or I think I understand what your problem is, Johnny. Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, look. What you did is you have this while loop which is while true, which means it will run forever, which you never should do, guys. And the second line is he will just ask for an input, which is this line. And then you can write an input. And when I write an input, which you can see in green here, and press enter, the input gets saved into this variable, which is answer. And then it will continue going to the text, to the block of code actually, which comes after that, which says, if answer is A, then I will just print correct, and then I will break, and then I'm done. Okay? Then I'm out of that. So I can check it again for you guys. So I say, run it again. I said A. Boom. And then he says it's correct, and then he breaks it. And the break statement, if you just write break just like that, you can even just write it here. No, actually you can't write it here because it's an if else. You have to write it here. Then you also just could break it and finish everything. So if I do like this and say A, it also breaks it because it goes into this case and not this one. Then it will just go here, skips this part because we are in this case, in this first case here. And then it will just go to the next line, which is break, done. And then it skips everything, we are done. And now let's go back to Johnny's problem. I just rewrite the code. And what Johnny thinks is that I said not A, so I just continue with the code and skip all of that and say it's incorrect, and then it goes to the next part, which basically says, do you want to answer the same question again? It's an input function, so it actually asked me again. So let's do this, blah, blah, blah. No, I say, I don't know. And then it says incorrect, okay, so it skips this part. It goes into the else case, the if-else statement, if you remember, and then it asks me this case. And then I say, I don't want it to say yes. I want to say no. And if I don't say yes, it will just skip this part because Johnny thinks only if this is true. Like he thinks this statement has to be true so that the while loop continues. But this true statement here, it has nothing to do with anything in your code. There is nothing, you know?
Okay.
It has nothing to do with it because you don't even return anything in the while loop. You just do something while the while loop exists. And this true statement is depending on something outside of the while loop. Because, for example, you saw the code here. Where is it? You see, the while loop does something, and then it's either it's yes or it's true or false. And you see this parameter is outside. It gets manipulated inside this one because every time it loops, it just adds 1 to the spam variable. So it gets to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this parameter, this dependency, which the while loop is looking at, is outside. You know, you can manipulate it here, but it's coming from outside, and this value is changing all the time, and then it changes until this condition is not true anymore. And in your code, nothing is changing this statement. Nothing, because true is a boolean itself. It's like you also could just say 1, because 1 is 1 forever. It will never change, and 1 is like true as well. Like 0 is false and 1 is true, and it would never change because you don't say it to change. And this has nothing to do with it. And that's why it doesn't matter if I say no. Look at this, else, elif. I say elif, no, I will say else, and then I say print you said something else, and then yes. Okay, and then look at what it will do. I will press it. I say I want to skip it, so I don't say A, I say B, and then incorrect, and then it says, do you want to do that? I don't say yes. I say, oops. Oh my God, please let me write here. Oh my God, I can't write anymore. Urtzi, save me, man. This is view.
Maybe right click on the terminal first
Oh my God.
and then type.
No. It's gone because I use Vim somehow, and somehow it
Oh,
sounds.
press I. Press I.
No, it doesn't
Escape
work.
I.
No. Okay, wait. I will just restart this one here. B, I say no. Look at this. It went into this one. It says you said something else, then yes, and then it continues here and said, what CPU do you want to what does CPU stand for? And now I even can say no, and I say nothing. You see, it has nothing to do with this statement. But now look at this. I say
So if it would be one way to just break there, because that would stop the loop.
yes, but you don't write a for loop, a while loop to break out of it then, because you actually just do a while loop. For example, let's do a while loop, and let's say you have a hospital or like a station where you maybe it's a bad example. What should I take? Let's have a store where they sell the best burger, okay? The best burger in the town. And there's a queue of thousands of people. And the while loop says, if burgers exist, then it will give out the food for the people, okay? So I say burger is yes, true. I will just say true for you this time. And I say burgers.
Long.
Yes.
Long. Check chat, conference room chat.
Conference room. Let me check. So what are you saying? This is a nice cat. Thank you, Lily. What is happening here? Should continue
Only the last
true.
one.
Naming. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. It's just a naming, so you understand what you actually are writing. But I will stick to this comment, this example. So I have burgers, okay? And if they are true, which means if you have enough burgers, Then I will, for example, here, let's say, do you want a burger? And then it's yes, take my burger. Okay. And he's like, no burger for you then. And then I say, what else do you want? Okay. And then you can say, I don't know, man. Yes, you said yes. We'll just leave it like that. And then we also say here, oh, we will just leave it like that for now, okay? So you see, this is just, I just replaced burgers with true. Does it make sense so far?
And I think I know the answer what to do in this case.
Okay, we will see. So let's see. I will say, do you want the burger? Yes. Thank you. Take my burger. I'm gone. Now, how do I solve this problem which you had, Johnny?
You go down to the second if else statement, and when it's else, after the print you said something else, you turn the variable into a false.
Where? Here?
No, line 18.
Here.
Yeah, so burger equals false.
Man, you see
So
my
in this
code even
case-
tells me.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, so this case we manipulated the variable outside the while loop, and the next time
Yeah.
it checks if while burgers is false, because the while loop only starts when it's true, right? This is right.
Yeah. It starts
Okay,
while
so
it's
in
true.
this case it's false, so it shouldn't start, so it should end there.
Perfect. Okay, so let's check it. Man, I don't even know if that is true. Let's check it out. So, do you think it will be like that? Yeah?
Yes, I'm confident. I know it will work.
Okay. So, do you want a burger? Yes. No, I don't want a burger. No. No burger for you then. What else do you want? I say something which the store doesn't understand. Oh my god! I need to do it again because I clicked outside. Damn. Sorry, guys. No. NFTs. I want NFTs. So it won't go into this one. It will go into this one. And let's see. Boom. You said something else, then yes. Then it's done. You see? Because we change this value of the burgers, which basically means, sorry, we don't have what you requested. Please leave forever. So, no. I don't know. So we don't have what you please forever. You see? And then we set it to nothing, burgers false. Then it's not true. Because you can print the burger here as well, and it would print false, and then you're done. So that's basically a for loop. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I
Yeah, man,
understand
that's
where the mistake was.
yeah, exactly. Because this is something which I want you guys to understand first. So you dig into the content a little bit by yourself, and then you get it, and then that's how you understand it. And also how Blazor is saying it, like here, should continue, is true. That's something which you also have to remember, guys. You have to give descriptive names, okay? So because, I don't know, burgers is not such a good variable name, so you still don't know what it will do. You know, that's why you could say burgers. What can we say?
Availability.
Yeah, exactly. Availability. And then we just, availability just can be yes or no. Or, or like many or not many. But in this case, let's say it's true or not. And then, it only can be this one. And then if you want to break out of that, because that's what the for loop is doing. It will do that until something else is happening, and then it will break. And then you say break it, or you set this parameter to something else, That's basically it, nothing more. You also can, no, just forget what I said, but that's it. Does that make sense? Any questions?
I have a question.
Oh no. Shoot
So-
it, Artsy.
So did we basically change the while loop from a uncontrolled while loop to a controlled one, if I understood it correctly? Because the while had like a while true, which was uncontrolled. The while like the while loop just did it every time because there was a true, and when we changed the true to a variable, which is
Yeah.
basically outside of the while, it's controllable.
Yeah, you can
That's
basically
correct?
control it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's something which you could do, but I really avoid while loops because many people who use that end up in an infinity loop, and then you will run forever. And imagine, because if you work in automation or if you work with APIs, the worst thing that could happen to you is that you code something. For example, you want to scrape a web page and have a while loop inside which says while the pages which you want to scrape exist. Like imagine you want to scrape all the NFTs or all, yeah, let's stick to NFTs. If you want to scrape all NFTs from your page, and then there are like, I don't know, 500 pages of NFTs, so you have to skip them over and over again. And somehow you manage to write some code which continues doing that, and it sends requests to the server, and each request will cost you, I don't know, 50 cents. And then it's your time to go home after your job, like 5 p.m. And then you just let it run because you think, man, I'm such an expert, man. I let everything run automatically. Then you come back, and then you see, oh my God, why do I have to pay $10,000 to this API request now, or this platform? And then you see, oh man, you look into your system, your monitoring system, and you see somebody sent 500,000 requests to this API, and it's always the same data because you just had a variable in your code which never changed. So your for while loop never changed the value for the condition, and then it ran forever and ever. You paid money, and then you got fired or whatever happened, you know. But just for the protocol, you don't get fired if that happens to you, because companies have insurances, and normally you don't get fired just like that, except if you did some bad stuff before. Okay, does it make sense, guys?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So what I've learned is never use an uncontrollable while loop in case I'm using one.
Yeah, but if you use one, make sure it's 1,000,000% sure that you know what you're doing. Yeah?
I was gonna say, normally I've actually never used the while loop.
Are you on the
But since I
toilet,
started-
Blazer?
No.
Okay,
Is my voice
continue,
better?
please. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never actually used while loop since I started, but there are cases where you wanna use while loops. It's rare, but let's say you're doing writing an HTML parser. There are places where you must use a while loop. Like, that's the only solution. But you should know what you're doing. But if you don't need to use while loop, yeah, don't use it. If you need it, yeah, use it. It's useful, but just make sure, yeah, it's correct, and test it before you actually do
Exactly.
something serious with it. Otherwise, when
Yep,
it goes
yep, yep.
wrong, it doesn't just go wrong. It goes wrong bad and ugly. But when it's right, it works like a charm.
Exactly. You see, Blazor also didn't use a while loop. But here, guys, this is something which you also should do. You know, you shouldn't use Google just to look up like how to write a for loop, or how to find a string in a for loop or something. You also can Google something like this, like when to use while or for loop in Python. There's no shame in googling that, you know. So just Google that, and then you see somebody ask the same question, like blah 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 blah, and then there's one guy who said there's a huge difference, and then it says the for statement iterates through a collection or iterable object or generator function, and the while statement simply loops until a condition is false. It isn't preference; it's a question of what your data structures are. So that's basically it. You understand? That's why understand what you actually want to do. If you need to have a variable which changes during your execution, or if you just want to go through a collection, a list, or this is actually the term which we should use in iterable object. Guys, write this down. iterable object, because everything where you can loop through or like take out one element one by one is an iterable object, like a list, dictionary, a set. You even have collections, but that's another data structure which we will cover someday. And also we have generator functions, which also is super interesting and also memory friendly and efficient, but we will cover that another time, because for now I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to give you something which we won't use anyway. Okay, does it make sense? Hello?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Perfect. Then let me show you one last thing before we finish, okay? Which is the importance. Sorry, Johnny, I need to eliminate you. Dead.
Let's see.
So let's go here. I will just close this. Oh no, I can't close it. My God. Okay, one thing which I want to introduce you today is the importance of packages, okay? And one reason why I absolutely love Python, which is the package manager, or like the package managers. And for some people, or most of you know some package managers, which are called pip or Conda. And I think we also have a couple of others, but I forgot them because I never used them. And package manager basically means that somewhere on the internet there is a platform where all of different code is stored. Something similar to GitHub, but those platforms are just focused on taking the code and make them available for other people to use, you know, because on GitHub you have a lot of source code which have a lot of things which you don't want to use, but modules or packages are snippets of codes which people wrote and packed or put into small and reusable code snippets which you then can use yourself to save time, because for example some functions require, I don't know, 10 lines of code because you have an algorithm and you don't want to write this line down, and you just use a snippet from somebody else or from somewhere else or an inbuilt function from Python, and then you can use it, okay? And that's what package managers are doing. So let's go and check here, Python, pip. And the pip actually stands for something very funny. I don't know if it's here or maybe it's just package installer for Python, but I think there was something else. I forgot, but let's go here. So this is one page which you always should know. Oh my God, you can't see it. Here.
No, I can't see a screen.
No, I didn't show anything. This is the first time I show something. No worries. So this is pip, the page pyp, as you can see here on the top, pyp.org. And this is like one of the most popular package platforms where you can see other people's packages and even can download them, or you even can create your own package and put it on this platform so other people can use it. That's why you can see all those information here, like this is what the package is doing. Sometimes it's completely empty because people just don't write anything into it. And then you can see the release history. You can even download the files of the code. And most of the time, it's hosted on GitHub. As you can see here, GitHub statistics. And let's look for a module which has a lot of snippets which you will reuse a lot. But instead of writing the code into your own code, you just can use the package which is called requests. And this is one of the most important modules or packages which you should use when you work as a data engineer. And as you can see here, it's called request and it has a version 2281. And then you could install it with that one, but I will show it to you next time. And then you see here project description. It just tells you what this module actually is doing and how to import it. As you can see here, request import request, and then you write request blah blah blah. So this is how you actually could use that. And this module is actually used to send HTTP requests to web pages. Maybe you don't know what that means right now, which is totally fine, but it basically just means you use this package to get the source code of a web page. And that's how you start to collect the data as a data engineer, just to give you a short explanation what it actually means. And this is the page where you always go into, and you also can create your own package, of course, which you don't even have to host somewhere. You just can write it yourself, and that's how you do while you go here. And that's what I'm going to show you quickly, okay? And for that, we will do something like this. We have, for example, I don't know, what do we want to do? I will just write for I in range, again, 10, and oops, print something and print I, okay? So that's basically what we always do. We have a for loop, we print it, and then it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, blah, 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 no problem. And now I say, if I equals 0, print, please, what is this? What is please? I is 0. And then I just go here and say I just print is I 0. And then let's see what will happen. So it will only print is I is 0 if I is 0, because that's what we learned in the first 2 lessons, right? In the classes. And now imagine I have if I modulo 2 equals 0, print oops, I is not 0, or whatever is got modulo. Okay, let's check what happens here. Okay, so I will remove this part here, and if you guys can remember what modulo does is it just checks the rest of the function if you divide it by 2. So for example, I had I is 2, as you can see here, and it's divided by 2, and the rest is 0. That's why it goes into this one. And if you have 3 divided by 2 is not 0. That's why it doesn't print it. So that's basically it. If you forgot what it does, just go back to the first or second class, and then you can re-listen to this part. And now look at this. I created this for loop with this condition and print this statement if I get into this statement, okay? Does it make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Now imagine I want to do something with this I, and now I normally do this. I say define a function which says multiply by 2. Yeah, by 2. Oops. And then I say it actually has one parameter, one number, and then I say return one number times 2. Okay? Does it make sense? And multiplied it. So I call this function here multiply by 2i. Does it make sense so far? So I just created this function and I use it here right now. Okay? Johnny, that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Boom. Now I say run it. Then you see it now should say this was I before. As you can see, this is I. Man, I will just remove this one. Oops. This is a little bit too long. Oh my god, please. Modulo. So I have modulo, it's 0, it's I, and 0, 0, and then the I here actually is 2, and this is 4 because I just said multiply it by 2. So now what you want to do, guys, is sometimes you have so many functions and your code is you lost the overview of your code. You want to modulize no, how do you say it? Is it modulize? Let's see, does it make sense? the German word modularisieren. I think in English it's modulize. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, just say reuse.
No, not reuse. I'm more talking about like that you split your code into different parts. I think in English it's called
Yeah,
modulize
you make
it.
it reusable.
Yeah, exactly.
Reusable.
Yeah,
Reusable is the
maybe
correct.
it could. Yeah, maybe that helps you more. So you want to reuse it somewhere, but you don't want to have everything on one spot. So you just take your
So
yeah.
also there is a term called dry, don't repeat yourself, and this one belongs to that phrase, which means basically write it once, use it everywhere,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
anywhere. That's why.
Yeah,
methods
let's
are-
go to it after I did it actually. So I have this code now, and imagine we have two files which use that snippet, and I don't want to write another file main2 and copy this function and use it. You know? Yeah, modularize exactly. That's like the professional term which you have to use if you say it, because reusable is just what we want to use now. And I copy this one, and you see now it's gone. And now I just create a new file. I hope this one is empty. Yeah, so I just create a new file now, which happens to be called long.py, okay? And then I just put this code inside, and nothing will happen because I just put into a function into this one, and nothing happens, right? That's clear so far? Okay, and now
Yes.
look what I have to do now. Now I want to use this function, but how do I do that? So first I need to remember this function name. So I just copy it. And then what you do is, and what you have seen so far is this one, import request. So the most important term here is import, which basically means you want to import, like you want to use some code from somewhere else. And in this case, you have to say import from the file which I created before. And this file is called long, if you can see it here. And now I have to say long, okay? And now long is on top of here, but you see it's gray. And then when I hover above it, it says unused import statement import long. And I could optimize imports, but I don't know what it will do, so I will just don't do that. And now long is imported from this file, and it has this function. And how do I use it now? I have to do it like this. I have to say import long, and now I can go here and say long dot, and then it will just use this function from here. Does it make sense? Oh, maybe it's
I just had an aha moment.
Good. And now I can run it, and you see what will happen. But I would even do this one for you. I will go here, and I will write print I have been executed. Well, I'm not dead, but I have been executed. Now let's go run main. Boom. Look at what's happening. It says I have been executed modulo. I have been executed modulo. And here it says modulo, here it says I have been executed. And as you can see, it just runs this code. As you can see here on the top, it says main. And then it runs here, it imports this file, so it imports everything which is inside this one. I even can say def print long. And then I can, oh shit, print long, oops, long. And I just could use it like this, and now look at what would happen. I just do it again. Nothing is happening besides the one which we already know before. And now if I want to use this line here, what do I have to do, guys?
Type in long dot print long.
Long dot print long. Man, what is this II? Is that enough? Will it print it for me already?
Yes, because the function doesn't need a parameter, and like this, you would call it.
Perfect, man. I love the way you think, Johnny. Let's go. So you see, every time I run through this modular condition, it says I've been executed. It prints this one, and then it prints long. because I printed here as well. And that's how you use your own module or package. I forgot why it's called module or package, but there is not a big difference. So stick to one term. I still don't know what I use. I think I always say package, but it's up to you guys, okay? And now something else, you also can, sometimes you see something like this. You see import long, and imagine my file is called, has a very long name. But it's not long, but it's very long. Like you have like 200 characters, which you actually should not have. But imagine it's really long. And then I can say, okay, import the long name, and then here's like a very long name, and then I say as L, for example. And instead of long, I just can say L. And here as well, I remove it, L. And then it's just shorter for you. But I don't recommend it in the beginning because you should know what you actually are using, because L is not descriptive. You don't know what that is, you know? And that's why just stick to this one. Call your modules or even functions which you reuse somewhere else descriptive. Like for example, I would never call my file long. I would just go here, refactor it, and say helper functions, for example. And then I say refactor, and then it says long is gone because this is called helper functions now. I would say helper functions. Helper, come on, man, functions. You see, now it says helper functions. I say here, and now it works the exact same way. But this is somehow wrong function. Something is not working here. Maybe it just, let's check if that works. Bing. Uh-oh, import helper functions does not exist. What's happening here, guys? Do you know what happened?
The library hasn't been changed yet.
I don't know actually. So let's see. Let's call it helper. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. Refactor. Let's
I think
call
you
it-
wrote helper functions without the S in the helper. The file
yeah.
name.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Because I thought maybe it refactors something else and it's gone. So helper functions, and this one is called helper. Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, Ötzi, thank you. I thought my whole refactor process just pranked me. I wanted to check. Okay, but as you can see, helper functions is here, and then it calls multiply by 2, and then now you see how clean the code actually is. Like this one is just the main logic, and here are all the functions which you just use to help you to do something. For example, you say, I have a function which is like remove all empty values. And then you do something here, blah, blah, blah. And then you can call it here, or you have another function which just does something specific. But you don't want, like imagine your whole function block is like 20 lines long, and then you have 5 of those here in your main file, man. That will look so dirty, and every person who looks into your code won't understand what's happening. Like they have to understand everything first, you know? And that's why you should use your own packages, or like actually, you know, now it actually makes sense, because if I say module in this sense, because all those files which you have here, like helper functions.py and main, they actually are modules, and the packages, I mean, they also are packages, but normally you refer to package like those packages which you have here, because if you look at this code here in GitHub from request, you can look at the code and look how big the code actually is, like request. We have all of that inside this one, and that's why it's a package. Somebody wrote this library, and it's so big, and when you write import requests, it imports this whole part here. But first you need to install it, obviously. Look, when I do this, it says, oh, I need to remove this line as well. So let's see if it actually works. Look, you see, it says no module named request. because it also is a module because it's an external file and you have to edit. But it would make more sense if you say this is a package as well. But if you see, it's not installed right now. That's why you can't use it. And if I want to use it, I go here. Hey, where is it? I go back to this page and copy this one just like this. I copy it here and say paste pip install request. And if I don't specify any version, which I could do like this, 2.28.1, then it will just take the newest version. And then I do this. And now you can see it's installing all of those files which you saw before. And now look at this. You see, if I run it now, it should say nothing. You see, now it doesn't say I have an error because I installed this package, aka module. Done. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I just see Monet is gone, but I see Snow with Nami the dog. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we just covered a while loop and modules, aka packages. So I hope that helped you, Johnny. Do you have any questions, or Henry, or Ötzi? Or maybe you have anything to add if I forgot anything?
I have something to add, or actually, let's call it to correct. So basically, a module is just a file, and the package is a collection out of all the modules, or let's say files. You can basically the import requests that you did. That's a collection of the modules. It's basically the folder within the files.
Exactly.
So think of like the folder as the package, like as a normal package that you get from the post office. And within the post office package, you have all the mails, which are the modules, as the example.
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. Thank you for this addition, Ötzi. I think that perfectly summarizes it.
Yeah.
Nice. So, then thank you. Guys, if you don't have any questions, that's it for today's session for the class. Thank you for joining and participating. I hope you learned anything. And if you want to or have any other questions, still just check out our Discord or our homepage down below the description. And see you on Sunday where we'll cover the next topics. And yeah, so see you next time. Peace.
Peace.